Hi, Mark Oswald. Welcome back to another segment of Londonderry Heart, Home, and Soul. Spring real estate market is fast approaching, if you can believe that, with all the snow on the ground. And with me this evening is Steve Manjikian, and he is responsible for National Property Home Inspection Services.
Correct.
I think I got all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks
And
for having me.
You cover pretty much southern New Hampshire.
Work mostly in southern New Hampshire. We have clients in northern New Hampshire. We do some commercial work in Boston area. Done some work in, we have some national clients that we work for throughout New England.
Okay. And a significant development 4 or 5 years ago was that until that period, New Hampshire didn't have any licensing process for home inspectors.
Yeah, that's correct. There are some national associations, ASHI, American Society of Certified Home Inspectors, and NACHI, National Association of Certified Home Inspectors, that kind of took that responsibility and kept home inspection at a certain level. Now the state of New Hampshire, starting in January 1 of 2009, has implemented licensing. So all practicing home inspectors in New Hampshire need to be licensed. But what they did that is really helpful, I think, for the consumer is they developed a standard of practice that describes exactly what's required out of a home inspector, exactly what's required out of the report that they deliver, and they describe and they control what we are allowed and not allowed to do. For instance, we are not allowed to comment on the value of a home. We are forbidden. It's against our standards.
So I want to talk about two broad topics.
Yep.
If you're a home buyer, why would a buyer want to contract with you to conduct a home inspection?
With me in particular, or with
a home inspector?
With a home inspector. Well, whether they know it or not, the number one thing that a buyer wants from a home inspection is they want the guarantee or the hope that once they buy the home, that they're not going to be putting a lot of money out repairing issues that they weren't aware of.
So give a brief summary to the audience in terms of what do you look for, or how do you conduct a home inspection typically for a buyer?
Okay. We use an inspection software. We have it on a computer, we have it on our phones, and we're inputting data as we inspect. We might take anywhere from 75 to a couple of hundred photographs as we inspect. Once we're off-site, we'll review those photographs. And really all major components of the house, we're looking primarily for significant deficiencies that are going to create a condition that might be hazardous to the client when they move in, might diminish the value of the home, or might impact other systems like a leak in a roof or a leak in a plumbing system. So we start the inspection on the outside, looking at all outside surfaces, checking outside electrical fixtures, plumbing fixtures, framing and structures of decks and outbuildings, viewing of the roof. This time of year we can't see much of the roofs except for the inside. And we go inside, we go through all kitchen appliances, go up into the attic. Up in the attic we look for signs of water intrusion, infestation, proper ventilation, proper insulation. Should I go on? We go right through every major component of the house.
Okay. And it depends certainly on the age, condition, and size of the property, but give us an estimate time-wise. You're talking probably a couple of hours on average?
A minimum, yeah. Even a garden condo, if we take our time and look at all components, we're going to be in excess of an hour, hour and a half. We do houses as big as 10,000 square feet. We might take a whole day for something like that. A typical home under 3,000 square feet, not much more than 10 or 20 years old, will take us about 3 hours on site. And then we spend a couple hours off-site generating the report, proofing the report, and sometimes doing some research on things we see, make sure we call everything out correctly.
Okay. The other major component, I think, of our conversation today would be home sellers. And I have to credit you for being a pioneer, really, with what I would call a pre-listing inspection. So I've got a client that is going to list their home this spring. Talk about the advantages and the impact that can have for them as home sellers.
Sure. So we put together a program that we know that it benefits the listing agent and their client to have a home pre-inspected. It's a little bit of a hard sell because you're telling your clients, or you're recommending for your clients to spend some money that they don't really have to spend. And it's usually can be anywhere from $300 to $600 that they might spend to have a comprehensive home inspection, what we call a pre-listing inspection. And what that does is it creates it takes a lot of the anxiety out of selling your home. Number one, it allows you to say, I'm providing full disclosure of everything I could possibly know about this house. I've even hired an expert to come in and go through the whole house and disclose it. We provide a written report for the client. And one of the things we've done based on realtor feedback is we've put a seller's addendum into our report. And what that is once we go in through and inspect the report, inspect the home, deliver a report that has color photos, digital photos in it, and lots of comments, the client takes our report. Typically what they'll do is they'll remedy many or all of the deficiencies that we call out. They then return that information to us. That goes into the seller's addendum with photographs and a list of remedies and repairs and upgrades they've done. And now they have a full home inspection report that isn't all just the bad news. It has the bad news and the good news that they've corrected those things, and then the house is truly in sellable condition. In addition to that, we've added signage. We have our street signage or yard signage that they can put in their front yard. Has a big check mark on it that says this home has been pre-inspected by National Property Inspections, and that helps to differentiate the home, helps it to stand out a little bit. And then we have on that sign and in our marketing material that the listing agents use, we have a QR code and it's not our website, but it's a page on our website, a landing page where we direct people looking at the home. They can view the report online. When they go to view the report, we capture their information. The listing agent then has those leads.
And you and I have conversed about this
Sure.
before. Significant advantage, not only for the home seller, but for the prospective buyer. Because you've removed kind of that doubt, that suspicion, that question mark about what about the efficiency of the heating system, or
Sure.
does the roof leak, or is there something that appears to be mold, type of thing. So you're really providing some reduction of stress and anxiety for the seller, and certainly a comfort to a prospective home buyer.
You're also, typically what will happen with the pre-listing is the listing agent will use that inspection report as a marketing tool. So you're providing it to them at no fee and no charge for them. You're delivering some value. That's something that would typically cost them $300, $400, $500, $600. They may, once they see the thoroughness of the report, quite often they choose not to even have a buyer's inspection, and they may waive that contingency. So that takes that 10-day due diligence period where everybody's very nervous about what's going to come up and eliminates that.
Another unique element of your work is the warranty or the appliance checks. If you can take a moment.
We do
that.
something that's, I think, a little unique for southern New Hampshire. I think there's a couple other inspectors that are using this. One of them is recall check report. What we do is we take the manufacturer's data plate information off of the kitchen appliances and off the mechanicals, the heat, the water heater, the AC. Once a month that gets checked through a government database checking for recalls. If there are any recalls, it's just like you read about about cars and news. It's always always a safety hazard. There's been loss of property, loss of life, injury. The client is provided manufacturer's information to contact them, let them know that they have a recalled appliance, and the manufacturer is required by law to repair or replace that appliance for free. That's a great service. The client has that for as long as they own the home. They can go in and add additional appliances if they change. They can actually put anything they want into that.
So is it fair to summarize the Boy Scout expression, be prepared?
Yeah.
If you're a seller or a buyer,
That's excellent advice. It's a
consider it.
it's a stressful thing. You know, you work with them. I work with the clients all the time buying and selling homes. It's very stressful. It's very emotional. And that can take some of that stress and emotion right out of it, having that pre-listing inspection. It's good for everybody.
Final thoughts or comments?
I've been in the home inspection industry now for 10 years. It's a great industry. Every day when we go to work, we feel like we're really helping people out, helping them make a good, sound decision based on more information, not misinformation. So we like what we do. We work very hard at it.
Terrific.
Yep.
Thanks
for
for your
having
time.
me, Mark. Thanks so
You
much.
bet.
That was great.
Thank you for watching. Steve's contact information will follow in credits. And until next time, remember to be of good heart. Thanks for watching.